Hello, crafty friends. Welcome back to the craft dungeon. Sorry, I'm not sitting yet because I keep... Okay, here I am. Okay, I'm excited about tonight because I finally got home from work and felt like, okay, I'm going to get this done because I wanted to do this for a couple of days now, and I was feeling inspired today. So it's not every day that I can just come home and feel like I can detach my mind from the craziness of, working and kids and pets and husbands and all of that stuff. And I don't know why my trash can is not within reach, because it should be. So I thought I was all organized, and then look, I'm still like screwing around, bending over, plugging things in, blah, blah, blah. Oh, kitty. Okay, come here. Say hi. Say hello. 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 Mimi says hi. Mwah. Okay, now go on. Go lay down and do cat stuff. Lick yourself and everything. Okay. So... I think I said I was excited. The reason why I'm half-assed excited is because I think I planned something out. So, the funny thing is, the yellow that's on here, I decided this morning before I went to work, I had like 5 minutes. I was ahead of schedule, 5 minutes, getting my daughter going and then getting ready for work. So I came down here and I just picked out three of my shades of cheap yellow paint and squirted some on the page and spread it out with a card. And then I laid down a circle stencil and just rubbed some of it back up. This had some gesso on it and some scribbles and a little bit of blue paint and a poor drawing of a bird flying that I was testing out to make my tag from last week for the 52 Weeks of Tags challenge, which I guess I'll show you because it's right here. The word was fly, the texture material was a bird picture, and the colors were bright. So I did the Distress inks as a background. I have a set of the mini ones. This is old stuff because everybody's moved on to Distress oxides, and I used that set to do my background, and then I did the wipe off with like a script stencil on the background there. Learn how to hold things up to the camera, goober. This is not a professional shindig, people. It's not, okay? So I drew birds flying, and then I put this crazy little one down here that I stamped on some jelly paper and drew little music notes. And the quote says, "Spread your wings and fly, or just sit there and sing your crazy song." I love that. I just made that up out of my head. The spread your wings and fly is pretty common, right? But, me, I'm like, well, what if I don't want to fly? What if I just want to sit there and be a goofball? That would be me. I would be the bright colored goofball down here singing while everybody else is up here flying. So that was kind of the whole point behind that. So I have not taken pictures of this yet. Some of my birds actually look like ghosts. So I think when Halloween gets here, I'll be set for flying ghosts. But there's a couple of them that turned out really good. So I can't draw, but I'm never going to be able to draw if I don't ever practice drawing. And so therein lies the conundrum. Okay, so tonight, what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and this is, I'm working in my journal. So technically, it's a Dirty Journals episode with the dirty paintbrush. But I'm off. So what I'm going to do in my journal tonight is the prompts for the April Take 5 Art collab that I really enjoyed playing along with last month. There is a group of about 10 or 12 ladies that they take turns picking 5 prompts, and then most of them do, a journal layout, a journal spread with the prompts, but you can do anything. Some of them have made tags, have done some other mixed media projects with it. So I had a really good time with this last month. and my page that I did last month. There's a video of it because I did a video, so you could look it up. I'll link it. I don't think I can link it in a card because I'm not popular enough yet. Maybe I can do a card. Maybe it's other things I can't do. There's something I can't do because I don't have like 10 million subscribers yet. So that's all right. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in my last Take 5 art video for March. And I will also link the channels for the other ladies that are actually the collab on this. That way you can go see what they did. They're the real professionals. They know how to do art. So I just mess around and, you know, I try to make something that looks halfway pretty. So the prompts this month were metallic paint or marker, add a tag, circles, add fabric, and write something in your non-dominant hand. Okay. So when I was looking through my fabric, I found these pieces that I had. So my dad has this quilt that his grandmother made. So my great grandmother made it, and he had it repaired late last year. And the lady gave us a big gallon-sized Ziploc bag back of the scraps that she removed and replaced because they were worn. We have some holes and stuff like that. And so I love this piece, and it just reminds me of, you know, my childhood because I remember this quilt being on my parents' bed when I was a kid. So I'm doing this in my composition notebook just because I can do a bigger spread, and I'm not quite ready yet to break into my fancy schmancy new Ranger mixed media journal. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna do something stupid in it and then ruin the whole thing, and then I won't like it. That's the most ridiculous thing ever, I know. But that is me and my ridiculousness. So I also found this that I had in my stash, and this is a piece of fabric with a vintage picture of a woman on it, and I thought about incorporating it as well. I picked this out first, but then I found the quilt scrap, and then I thought, well, I've got this yellow base that I've already started, so I could probably go ahead and put that in there. So I may not use this other one at all because my quote is kind of based on the picture that I pulled out of this Fun with Dick and Jane book that I had. I believe this was a book that was mine when I was little, and I was, yeah, Newton City Schools. Newton is the town that I grew up in. It's about 30 minutes from here, but it's got a lot of cute vintage pictures in it of little kids and all kinds of stuff. So I found this picture of this little girl, which I love. She's adorable. Let's see. All right, straight up, over, up. Why don't I just, okay. Well, I don't know why this is so hard for me. Ooh, look at me go. She's so cute, and she's like, you know, bending down, touching her toes, but I first looked at it and I thought, you know, the first thing that came to my mind was like, look at things from a different perspective, you know, like a little kid would do, you know, look at it upside down and see if you feel differently about it or whatever. You know, that's kind of how I thought of it at first, like she was bending over, you know, looking at something. So I have a couple of options for quotes. So my color scheme is going to be kind of this pastel-y. I found this scrap piece of paper that is blue. It's got this baby blue on it, and I really, I was going to use this as my tag. And so I understand that the picture is a little bit bigger than the piece of paper, but I don't really care. Nobody has ever told me that I can't have an embellishment on a tag that's bigger than the tag. So, yeah. Sorry if anybody takes issue with that. But around here, I do things my way. So that's how we're going to do it. Now, I have never used this thing before, and I have just fine luck with the envelope punch board. So I am not going to read the directions, and I am just going to wing it and see, like if I wanted to do, I think I want to do this line. So I think what I do is just, well, maybe, might help if the, wait, what? Wait, what? Actually, I think that's going to cut a lot further down than I thought, because this thing is way back here. What am I, oh, I got to take it out of there. See, maybe I should have read the instructions, and I bet it goes here in this here groove. I'm going to guess. Is that a groove? It's not a groove. What do I do with this thing? Am I really just supposed to, like, stick it in the slot and drag it down? I'm guessing. Or am I supposed to, where's the, oh, the line is right there. I bet this pops in here like so. Do it? It do. Okay. Maybe. Pop it in the slot. Pop, drop, and lock it. Let me see if there's a, I don't know if this like actually locks into place or just kind of, I think probably what happens is I just set it there. That little thingy just keeps it. Okay. Okay. So I did that. I'm going to flip it over and leave it on the same line. And then I'm going to feel dumb if I find out later that this locks in this track somehow, because it's actually kind of wonky if it moves a little bit. And then I'm guessing this is my hole punchy thing. So if I line it up, I don't know how I'm supposed to know that this is in the middle. Oh, that's a really small hole, and it's not in the middle. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna re-punch that with my hole punchy thingy. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be able to cut those lines with scissors and actually make them turn out straight. They would be all jacked if I would have done it that way. So anywho, we're just gonna fix this hole and make it a little bit bigger, and see, now it's perfectly centered. Look at me go. Okay, and the one thing I always forget to do is you know, ink my stuff, which I love the look of, and I always get so excited when I actually figure out what I'm going to do with something that then I forget to go back and ink it, and that's black. So I need to find my brown one. I got a brown one in here somewheres. I have not done a very good job of, like, some people do really good about keeping these with their ink pads. I have had, I've seen people that actually tape them onto, like, the top of their, or put Velcro on their ink pad and then just stick the spongies to the corresponding ink pad. That way they know what goes with what. Yeah, I am not that particular. I have not gotten to the place where I've done that yet. So I just kind of like dig through my little box and pick out the one that looks like it had some tea dye on it or whatever, and hope that I don't. And I usually kind of like daub it out on a piece of paper to make sure that I didn't completely, you know, that I'm not completely mixing colors. But anyway, now that I've showed you that book, I can put it over here. And at some point, I will actually look and see how I'm supposed to use that tag punch board. But the first time I used the envelope one, I read the instructions and I had no problem at all with it. So I'm kind of trying to decide. So I'm going to, so this, I've decided that I want to make this into a pocket. So this was like this was some kind of advertisement card that I got. And I gessoed it, so I need to paint it still, which I'll do, and I'll make you watch. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it down as a pocket. And I guess what I could do is make a gusset if I wanted to. Get out of my drawer, kitty. Get out of my drawers. You can't have none. It's all mine. So I guess if I'm going to paint it, I've got to let it dry. I mean, I really only need to do the front because I'm gluing down the back. So I could cover it in this, and it's got some of the color scheme that I'm doing on it. But obviously it's not all. But you know what? I can fix that. I'm not worried about that. I can fix that right up. All I got to do is glue it down on here. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to I'm going to make, I think I do this by making a slit. I'm just winging it, folks. So you're not going to learn any fancy skills from me most of the time. You're going to watch me probably screw up a lot. I think that's the other part of the reason why I keep calling this the craft dungeon, because it's like torture for people that know how to do this stuff. They look at me and go, "My God, woman, what is it that you're doing?" I don't know. That's a good question. So I think to help me out here, I could probably just do that with my bone folder. I don't think I need to get out I have a scoring blade for this. So my plan here was to score this. That way I can fold some little flappies in and make a gusset. That way my pocket's not so tight. Why, now I have no idea where my bone folder is. It should be here in my cart of goodies. See, even when I have this stuff planned out, it never goes smoothly. Did I tell y'all the story about how I lost the lid to my my glue? Where's my bone? Who took my bone folder? See, this is going to be one of those situations where it's laying in front of me on the table and I just can't see because I'm not paying attention. And I'm sorry if my yakking is annoying. I tell you what, you know, after working all day long and having to be professional and use proper grammar and explain complex contracty things to people, I just want to come home and say ain't and don't and yon't to. Oh, there's my bone folder. And talk in a weird accent because that's fun for me. And hopefully you guys out there can just play along and listen to me yak. And I mean, you know, if you completely hate it, just turn that there volume down and just watch me make a fool out of myself, and then you don't have to listen to the crap that's coming out of my mouth while I'm making a fool of myself. So yeah, that was way too much. But you get the idea. So all I'm doing is just folding this in, and that way when I glue it, and I went to that line, whatever measurement that is, 1/4 of an inch, something or other. I don't know, because see, right here, it's confusing. So this is my 0 line. Yeah, I hate this part right here because I get confuzzled real easy. And it doesn't take much for me. Like, I still haven't learned the 1/8 and the 1/16. I know that's so bad. Like, I went to school and I went to college and I'm still just so bad. So it's funny when my husband and I are doing, like, building IKEA furniture or doing, you know, measuring stuff, putting stuff up on the wall or whatever the case may be, and he's like rattling off, "Oh yeah, 18 and 5/16." I'm like, I don't know how you knew that was. I mean, every time I like figure it out, I don't do it enough to then remember. So I'm pretty sure that I'm just scoring this at like 1/4 of an inch or something. Something like that. Well, that one's just not scoring at all. Listen here. Hot sauce. Listen here, hot sauce. And it's scoring enough. It's scoring enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold and glue this. Cut off that little bit that flew somewhere across the room. I'm not sure where. And do the same thing here. That way I get a little bit cleaner fold. I'm just going to cut me a slice out of here. So it's obviously probably not perfectly straight because I already had a little sliver out of the other side. And then that side had no little sliver. And here I go again. Here I go again. Rambling on like a psycho. So I felt so bad tonight because we were making dinner. And my husband took the rice pilaf off the stovetop, went to go put it on the table. And so I grabbed the chicken out of the oven. And I know this looks so bad on video. I'll flip it over so it's not so bright. I have these in my journal pages to keep the other things dry and clean and beautiful. And then I thought, man, that's so distracting, like in a video, seeing all that bright red checker crap. So I swapped it out. I want something to glue on though, so I don't constantly have to like wipe glue off my table. These mats from IKEA, by the way, that I got the last time I was there are awesome. They clean up really well, and I guess you don't even really have to glue both sides. And I only needed a gusset on one side. I didn't need a gusset on both sides, so actually I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to work because I done did two. See, I don't talk like that at work. Don't worry. And I sometimes I just like being, you know, a rebel, a rule breaker. So I done did already cut two. So since I cut two gussets, we're going to use both. We're going to get them lined up here as good as we can. And then press it down, hopefully. And see if it'll stay down. And what I can do real quick while I'm waiting for that to dry and get glue all over me is grab some binder clips and press these here sides together until this glue decides it's gonna do its job. It takes a minute if I can get the binder clip to work. Thank you. So what I'm doing is I'm just pressing these together, and then I'll go on and do different things. Because is that a cat hair? Kitty, really? Your hair is like, it's killing me. It's everywhere. It's time to brush you again, isn't it? This cat sheds something fierce. Fierce. Is she in here? Mimi. She's always in here. She's always in here when I'm in here. And I love her to death. Don't get me wrong. But she's like always in my way. She's always laying where I want to scoot. Or laying under my table where I want to put my feet. I'm going to need more wipey wipes. I've been using a lot lately. I got to get that sticky stuff off my hands. It just drives me insane. I was telling you a story earlier. Oh, cooking dinner. Sorry, see, I got distracted again. It's just so bad, but I just love being able to sit here and just ramble because there's only a few people in my life that I can do that with, and they pay attention to me for more than 10 seconds. This is my outlet. I can ramble, and, you know, I mean, like I said, if you don't like it, just turn it down, and I'll never know. I'll never know that you turned it down. It'll be your little secret, and I will feel satisfied, and you will keep your sanity. Okay, so why are there shadows? There are shadows, and I do not like the shadows. This glue, I mean, it works well, but dang, it is like so sticky that even a wipe does not get it off my fingers, and my hands are still sticky. Okay, so back to the, so third try is a charm. Back to the sticker story. The sticker story. For the love of all the scissors in the world that are sharp. Girlfriend. Dinner. We have all these homemade pot holders that my mother-in-law had made. She was big into sewing and did craft shows, and very, very talented lady. In fact, she made this awesome case for me. I found this pattern at we went to a fabric store together one day, and I found like the pattern for it that showed how to make it. So she bought the pattern and told me to pick out my fabric, and she went home and made me one. And it was so sweet. I love this thing, and it's got all these little pockets in it with zippers, and then in between the pockets, it's got this accordion here, but it's round, so the whole thing zips up. But anyway, it's got pockets with zippers, and then you can put stuff between the pockets with zippers too. So there's 3 pockets with zippers, and then there's 4 spaces. So then you can put all that stuff in there and then zip it all up. Yeah, see how cool that is? Anyway, she was a very, very, very talented lady. Point is, so he takes the rice off the stove. Oh my gosh, it's like the 15th time I've said that. And I go to get the chicken out of the oven, and I go and grab the chicken, and I get it up on the stove, and then I throw the pot holder down, not realizing that I threw it on not only the burner that was still hot, but it was actually still on, because he took the pot off and walked away, and he didn't turn the burner off first. And we have like a flat top, glass top stove. And so then I'm like taking the chicken out, and I'm smelling something, and I look over, and the pot holder is smoking on this burner that's still on, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I felt terrible because my mother-in-law passed away late last year, and it was sudden. This has been very hard on everybody. It was right before the holidays, and it's been tough. And so, Mom made that, and I felt terrible because I was like trying to burn the house down with it, and so it's all kind of burnt on one side, and so I felt really, really, really terrible about it. So yeah, that happened today. So yeah, but dinner was good. It was good, and I ate too much. And we decided tonight that instead of going to get fast food, we would run to the grocery store and grab a couple of rotisserie chickens. And then we decided to go ahead and get a couple boxes of rice pilaf while we're there. And then we wanted a cake. And then I got a pad thai noodle bowl for lunch at work tomorrow because I love pad thai. And I've never seen this particular packaging or this particular brand. So I grabbed that, and then he grabbed 2 bottles of Mountain Dew for himself. And so by the time all of that was done, it was like $50-some. And we were leaving the store, and he's like, yeah, we probably just should have went and got fast food. I mean, come on. And it's not like he was probably hungrier than I was. I wasn't like completely starving, but that's one of those things, where they tell you, don't ever go to the store hungry. Yeah. You think? I feel like I need to add a little bit of blue to this background. So what I did is I put some gesso on here because I feel like it was a little bright. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of tone it down a little bit. So I've got some circles on here from this morning. I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw some more on here, maybe. Let's see how this goes. I am being totally, yes, that's so much blue. I didn't think I put that much on there. And now it's like a butt tone and butt ton both of glue. What? Unfortunately, this paper, I mean, it's been gessoed, but I'm afraid if I dink with it too much while it's still wet, it's just going to start tearing because it crinkled there already. It crinkled there already. So what I'm doing is I'm adding more circles because that's one of the prompts. So I've also got some cutouts from the rest of that book page that I punched out in circles that I'm going to use as well. So I'm working on my pocket for my tag. I've got my fabric. And I feel like this needs like more circles over here because there's so much blue. The beauty of it is I could go right back over it with more yellow or more gesso or whatever I wanted to do because it's my book and I can do what I want. So there is that. So this was just, I don't even remember what this is from. It's some kind of packaging that something came in, and this, I don't know, I've got a couple of these and I just saved them because I thought they would be good. I just saved them. They're just cardboard, but I thought it would make a good stencil because I didn't have anything that was that size of circle. Are these the same color? This is Key West and this is Cloudless. Like I didn't already put enough blue on the page. Let's kill it with some more. Because that's how I roll. But I actually kind of like how that, and I think that's probably, oh, that was the goober. That was the butt booger from the paint. Awesome. I actually think that was the color I wanted. So that's what I get for not swatching it first, is that I get mistakes. So we're just going to go ahead and throw a little bit more on here. This is hard for me because it goes back to that learning to layer things. And, you know, I'm afraid, oh, I'm going to cover up, you know, this pattern I've got back here. Or I'm going to cover up a certain color I've already laid somewhere. And I watch so many people. One of my favorite art journaling artists recently has been Lisa Oxley. And I just love her style and her bright colors. And I dig her. I'm addicted to somebody else right now as well that I just started watching, who has a very vintage style, which is completely different than what Lisa does. But I'm digging it too. So I'm all over the place. So I don't just like talk about everything all at once. You know, I can't stop myself. It is an illness. It is worse than the craft supply buying illness. It is bad. It is, it's terrible. So this is how my pocket turned out. Okay, I've got basically a double gusset, so it's like the paper bag style. Anyway, the W fold. You could call it the W fold, although this, I just made that up. This, it didn't work out quite straight, but I used a piece of junk to make this, so, you know, I'm not going to be too terribly hard on myself about how it turned out. Besides, we're going to make it look stinking awesome anyway before we stick our tag in it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some paint on this. And I think I want to make it a different color. So I pulled 3 of the gouache paints that are supposed to be metallic. And that's probably more than enough. These are, I looked on the back of the box to find ones because I couldn't tell which ones were metallic. So these all had the word pearl in them. So I'm using these as my metallic paint or marker requirement. I may use some metallic marker to outline some stuff. I don't know yet. I have some Pit Artist pins in metallic colors that, see, I think this is going to turn out way too bright compared to everything else because the rest of my colors are very muted. So I'm probably going to have to mute this down. And since I didn't, I don't think I sanded this before I gessoed it. So my gesso is already very streaky in the background. And I will admit that, I'm going to admit that gouache paint probably wasn't the best choice to do that with. Oh, that looks terrible. What am I doing purple on yellow? Duh. Come on. See? Do not pay attention to that. I just wipe it right off. That's nasty. Okay, that was mud. Gouache paint was not the right choice to cover up something like this because not that it's not opaque, but when you're trying to, like, you know, coverage, I'm not trying for a watercolor effect. I'm trying for a cover this everything up effect. So, yeah. Now I know so far this is looking kind of scary, but stick with me. I think the end result will be quite good. Quite good. So this is pretty much dry. One thing I can say for, and not that I had a ton on here, but the gouache dries nicely. Nice and fast. So I think I want to put, right, let's mix purple and yellow again. Do it. Come on. Let's try a little bit of, and maybe once it's dry, maybe it wouldn't be a big deal. So I don't want to completely cover up the metallic. I just want this to be messy and dirty. So I'm kind of doing, you know, this is a very vintagey theme. But I will usually, if I think about it and remember, do anything I can to grunge things up. So I want, for this layers, you know, messy. I wasn't going for accuracy. I have to say, the last couple of weeks I've met so many people that are kind of in the same. I'm going to try this anyway. The purple is dry, so I should be able to do this now, right? It shouldn't make mud. Although, I don't know. Yeah, I should. Can I? Let's see. Okay, if I don't rub it in too much, I don't know if I like this or not. That's like too abstract-y now. It might be too abstract-y. Not sure that I'm feeling this. So, I've still got some metallic back there. Not sure how I'm feeling about this. Okay, I'll keep working with it. See, though, don't give up, right? Keep working at it. That's the thing I gotta learn. So I don't like how that turned out at all. So now I've got to figure out what I do want to do with it. So I could take another book page and cut some out. And, how big is this? Oh, I'd rather keep that whole thing. So we had some people that apparently wrote in the back of this book. I was thinking of maybe pulling just some text out of here and throwing it. Oh, look at the kittens. The kittens. Puff went to the barn. She saw a big black cat and said meow. You know, I saw somebody earlier, I swear, they took like a ruler and stuck it in the middle of the book, and then their page just came right smack out like butter. And I don't think, I tried that earlier, and it did not work for me. I'm not, yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm not exactly sure how they did it. Usually what I do is I take an X-Acto knife and just slice down the center until it cuts the page off. But too late. I already jacked that one up, so that's okay. We will make it work, peoples. Peoples. So I kind of like the kitties. You know, I'm probably just going to end up covering this whole thing up because it's just terrible. I don't like it at all. I don't like the purple. And I was doing it because there's purple in this fabric, like right here. See, I thought that it would turn out good. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But apparently, I mean, it's just not it's not what I'm going for. Oh, maybe I should put some blue paint back on it. Let's just keep covering it up. Ooh, squirt. That was a lot of paint for that little tiny. Fabulous. I don't care if it gets on the page at this point. I don't care anymore. Okay. Now we just got more light blue, which is fine with me. And you see how the coverage is just, and I just want to scrape a lot of that off and just leave a little bit of it there. It tones down that purple that ended up being way too bright. I'm picky. I can't decide what I'm doing. But for some reason, I just didn't like how that looked. So, I think the big thing I need to do is get my piece of fabric down, because really that was like my focal point. And I was sitting over here earlier jacking with it, and then I'm just now sitting here going, I think I want to spread it across the middle of the pages is what I want to do with it. Which is going to be a trick, because I got to get it down in the cracks to do that. I'm going to dry this just a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take these off so I can get these pages to, I need the crevice to spread as far as I can get it. That's not intended to be dirty, people. Get your mind out of the gutter. And I think I want to go like this with it. Now I could go from the top. Which one do I like better? I don't know. I just need to pick something and do it. Okay. I am going to put this down with matte medium because matte gel, because it should hold it. Mod Podge would probably hold it too. I don't have any Fabri-Tac, and I'm gonna go ahead and use a palette knife. It really doesn't matter. I use a brush with this stuff all the time. Which side is this is the side I want up, right? Yes. So I think I want to put it down as close to the bottom as I possibly can. So there we go. Start scraping this stuff in here. Start laying this thing down right like that. Perfect. Perfect. Look, something's working for me. Go figure. I got a big old piece there. I'm not great with palette knives either. Like, when I get a bunch stuck on the top of the palette knife, I can't figure out. I mean, it's supposed to bend, I guess, but I'm like, how do I get it? I guess like that. How do I get it off there? Just like that. Just like that. People, see? Spread it with a knife. Although I do have some kind of stuck in the back there that I think is gonna take a little more effort to get that off. Like way back there. That's what the finger's for, see? You just use the finger and get it off of there. And so I always try to pick it up out of the jar on the back of the knife, because that's where I usually start spreading with. So I wanted to get that in there, and I want to, see, I really wanted this to be in the center here, and it is not centered. Okay, that is close enough. I am not going to argue with it because this is not about lining things up perfectly. This is why I got real sick of scrapbooking, and I'm not really a great card maker either. Like sometimes if I just let myself do mixed media on a card and stamp a sentiment on it, I'm good. But if I get into that mindset of, oh my gosh, everything has to be perfectly aligned, then I start having a real hard time. So that's why I gave up scrapbooking and crafting for quite a while, because you know, everything in scrapbooking was like perfectly aligned, and you had to be like perfectly everything, because that's how Becky Higgins did it, and Becky Higgins was the bomb. No offense, Becky Higgins was, you know, she did some pretty kick butt scrapbook pages. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she did, right? But that's not my thing. I mean, I can't cut a straight line with scissors. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler half the time. So trying to perfectly map pictures and align, you know, quotes with boxes and 14 layers of mats and then lining up your embellishment perfectly, yeah, none of that stuff was going to happen for me. So my art journaling is, I'm using that term art very loosely. It's more like junk journaling. Yeah, I mean, it could be considered junk journaling. So yeah, I'm still yakking about useless stuff. But anyway, I am one of the people that came from the scrapbooking era. Scrapbooking, when I quit that, I almost didn't ever come back. I had all this crap for years that I held on to, like paper and all this stuff, and I kind of dabbled in doing other kinds of art, which of course I later find out was like mixed media stuff, but I dabbled around with it. And you know, I've talked about this before, how then I found my villagers, my peoples, and started, you know, I was a late bloomer. I'm sure junk journals were around like years before I found them on YouTube 3 years ago, or gosh, however long ago that was. I still don't like this. I still don't like it. It's too bright. So I'm wondering if this will help at all. Just doing the edges. I'm thinking the edges may not be enough. I'm thinking I may need to do more than the edges to get rid of this bright, shiny. Okay, some of it is because I've got this metallic paint in here. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to cut a half circle slit out of here. I wish I had a smaller hole punch than what I have. I think the metallic is just not gonna vintage this up enough. That's a little better though. I actually think that's a little better. I actually also think I just got paint all over that dauber. Yeah. I don't know. Did I, or is that my... I don't really care. I'm just wiping it off on here. So if I leave little circles of brown, that's fine with me. No, maybe that's just actually what it looks like. Okay, so that's gonna stick. So yeah, I tore my paper there. These pages were not glued together. That was a mistake that I made. So, yeah, I like that a little better now. It looks a little grungier, but I still think it's just, I still think that I want to go ahead and put this on there. I just love the kitty. I mean, the kitty and her babies. And that really kind of goes along a little bit with the either one of the quotes that I have picked out, which are both referring to wonder. And I feel like that, you know, a mama kitty with her baby kittens, I mean, that's all about wonder right there, right? The baby kittens are curious. They are maybe also, that's cute too. Look how I almost perfectly cut that out, did that out on the other side too. I wonder about just taking a real small piece of this, like maybe just take this torn bit that's stuck here, and throw it up here, like throw it back here, throw it up, throw it back, throw it somewhere. Good grief. And seeing if that kind of helps junk it up a little bit. Yeah, I think I told you the story about how I was freaking out because I lost the, yeah, this is working real well. I lost the appropriate lid for my Always Ready Aleen's. This is not that bottle. This is my old bottle that I'm still trying to use up. Come on, work with me. Work with me, Charlotte. I name everything, don't I? It was Francis Fibers and, oh no, I named something else. Francis Fibers and somebody else in one of my videos. I really did like Francis Fibers though. She was sassy. She was pretty sassy. I'm just trying to get this to stick down. And I want all the little threads and the frays. I want that stuff to be there. And I want this to be messy and grungy, and that's the look I'm going for. So I'm trying to make that pocket not so bright and a little more grungy to kind of fit in with what I've kind of got going on here, which I thought I had a pretty good idea of what I was doing, but I'm not so sure about that anymore. Wow, I am making a huge mess. Dawn Calvin, you would be proud of me. And I hope you're feeling better, sweetie, if you watch this. I know it's hard when you already put so much content up and still work full-time to try to watch anybody else's videos, but I know that you've come by and seen a few and commented. So if you're watching, I know you've been under the weather and you've been lounging with Gracie and Misty, and I hope you feel better, dear. Be proud. I'm making a mess over here. So, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking I could even just throw this down. I mean, why not? Right? I just want to ink this whole thing. Oh, tomorrow's Thursday. That's so exciting. One day closer to Friday. And it's going to be a craft weekend, too. I mean, just busy. We got so much stuff to do around the yard. And I really don't want to lay that in wet paint. So let's try, dear, real hard to not set that in some wet paint. We got a lot to do this weekend. So I probably won't get much time in the craft dungeon at all. You know what I've noticed is I always put stuff down and then completely cover it up. I still think back to this one video I did where I worked so hard on painting this background. It was out of gouache paint, And the background turned out really cool. And I think it was on a tag that I did. And I was actually really happy with how the background turned out. And I was talking about it on the video and why I was doing it a certain way and blah, blah, blah. Right? And then I realized when I got all done with everything, I realized I freaking covered all of that up that I was literally so proud of. And it turned out so well. And I was yakking about. No, it was a journal page. It was a journal page that I did, and I like put this paint down like in this one spot. Why am I being so, what the heck? Why am I being so weird with this? And I forgot to ink it. See, I forgot to ink it around the edges. Don't put it over that far. I want to see the text. Just a little snippet of the text. That's all I want, people. And you can't see the fabric at all now. You can see little bits. And it adds some texture. I'm going to sound like a smart art person. It adds interest to the page. Are you interested? That's so funny. Smart art people say that. It adds interest to the page. Well, it doesn't add interest if you can like literally see 15th, 16th of an inch of it. See, I was being snarky there. I'm squirting some Murphy's out on my towel, and I'm going to wipe my hands off with the Murphy's because I am all kinds of sticky between the matte medium and the Tombow liquid nails or liquid whatever, mono, whatever it is, glue. And it's literally like just peeling off my hands now. So it looks like my skin is molting. Whoa. No, it's just glue. Yeah, I think I screwed up that dauber. I'm going to go ahead and grunge this tag up just by throwing some brown in here. Some of the, whatever this is. Tea dye, vintage, photo, coffee dyed. Okay, there. I like that. What is that anyway that I'm using? Oh, antique linen. I was way off. I don't even think I have. I think the other one I have is the vintage photo. And I got crap everywhere. How can I oh, there went my palette knife. Now, how did it completely miss the bucket and go behind the table? Where'd it go? There it is. I can reach it with my foot. That's fantastic. Get in there. Oh my God. How long has it been already? So much for trying to do things quickly. I tried real hard there to get myself in the habit of doing things more quickly. And clearly, that's not happening tonight. So I'm trying to think of how I could put a little divot. I think that this circle punch is going to be way too big for that. But what I want to do, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it around here. I just want to do both sides anyway. What I want to do is just put a little tiny, you know, slit thingy. Not a slit. It just popped right up and smacked me in the face. That's perfect. That's what I want. Oh, there's the other one. It like literally popped up and smacked me in the face. Okay, so this is what I wanted. Okay, so now that see, I set that down in paint. Perfect. Lovely paint. Why do I have white paint there? It looked like white paint. Oh, there is some paint there. All right, whatever. I don't think that's white. I'll just go ahead and wipe it off on the tag. I don't know what that was. That might have been glue, actually. I bet it was glue. Because that's where I glued my pocket together. I am making a huge freaking mess. So, I want to... So, where's my little girl? That's like the whole purpose of this tag, is this little girl. Okay. There's my little girl. So I'm gonna tear her up, and I'm gonna remember to ink her this time. Ha, see? I remembered. Y'all thought I was gonna forget because I forgot to ink my cat. I'm gonna ink my little girl, and I really don't want to take much of her booty off because that's just so cute. So like, I gotta be real precise down here. I just don't want to take much of the image away, but I want the torn edges. And so I got to be careful over here too, because I don't want to lose much of her curly blonde hair. So yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to ink the edges with my antique linen or whatever it is. I looked at it. It is actually, in fact, antique linen. I'm an emotional person at times, right? Like I have feelings and stuff. And sometimes you just gotta learn to let things not bother you. And I just have to say that I've been struggling with that recently because I had a situation where I was trying to include myself with a group of people online because I thought that they were like cool people and the discussions were fun and the chat was fun and like long story short, and without like making it obvious to anybody that may hear this who I'm talking about. Because unfortunately, I don't know if the things that happened were deliberate or not. But some things happened, like something happened, and that basically made me not go there anymore. And it appears to me, it's hard for me to say that what happened wasn't deliberate because it's like deliberate and then continuing to be intentional because there were things said to me like, it's being taken care of, it's being fixed, the issue that you've had is going to be resolved, so sorry. And then it never does. And so I'm kind of like, okay. Like, if that, it used to be like I would get mad about that kind of stuff and then be like all retaliatory or vengeful or whatever. And then it kind of got to the point in my life as I got older that I was just like, whatever, you're lost, people, because I'm pretty dang fun to hang out with. Yeah, so I've been struggling with that. I've been struggling with the, it was the whole thing, a deliberate thing, and they're just trying to like, pretend like it's not so that they don't get, any backlash from anybody or, what's the deal? I don't know. And honestly, I really don't give a crap anymore. I don't need that in my life. I have met so many cool people that are genuine and that I've connected with, and even some just really recently, which is the whole reason why I'm even out here making videos, because I have other obligations, like I've said a million times, so I can't post, content every day and provide all these tutorials and edited, polished videos. I can edit them, but they're not going to be polished. They're going to be quick edits, whatever I have time for, and then I may go weeks without being able to post anything, because I'm busy. I got stuffs to do. But when I'm not super busy, I feel like this needs to go at an angle. And I feel like that I don't know if I need all that. And I kind of like it like that. what do we think here? But I feel like then it needs something else too, like a flower or something. And I know it's bad because I'm going to stick a red staple in here, which does not go with any of this at all. This could be another situation where I throw in another piece of fabric and then cover it up again, you know, because I think that I'm... I like more layers, please. More layers, please. See, I kind of like it over there. I kind of like it over there, like that. So maybe I can just flop another staple in it because I don't... Where did I just put the stapler? Like, there it is. I literally just used it. I don't feel like gluing nothing, so we're stapling stuff. Okay. So I think now... Anyway, I mean, the whole point of that conversation was, you know, if you ever have a situation like that where, you know, you think people are your friends or you think people are being nice to you or, you know, you're trying to, like, include yourself and make more friends and for some reason these people are cliquey and they don't want you around even though they try to tell you, oh, yeah, it's all good, you know, blah, 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 but then their actions tell you something completely different. You know, we're adults. The point is, you know, you have time for that. I keep seeing this quote that says something like, basically, many people love you, don't focus on the ones that don't. So, yeah, passing along that message, you know, just keep that in mind. Don't worry yourself and stress yourself out over the people that, like, you thought were your friends or that you thought you could have some sort of a relationship or friendship with, or, you know, because you had something in common, so you're going to try to, like, you know, include yourself in whatever they're doing, and they, you know, shut you out for whatever reason, and then say that, you know, that wasn't the case, or whatever. Just freaking let it go. Let it go. So that's what I've been trying to do lately. I've been trying to let it go. I've been trying to not give a crap that people as adults still act that way to each other. So, yeah, I like this too. Let's just continue to... Wow, that still feels damp over there. Like, how can that be? I'm ruining this sponge. That's okay. You know, I go through phases of liking these sponges and then not liking them. So, I don't really care if I ruin it, to be honest. Sometimes it's like no matter how hard I try, I think it depends on the specific thing I'm working on. It's like no matter how hard I try, it still like leaves the round marks, like this ink crap never blends out. But in some cases, especially when you're just doing like the edges, it's just fine. Alright, I kind of like that because it grunged it all up. Oh my gosh. If any of these Take 5 people watch me, they're going to die. Because they all do their stuff in like 30 minutes or less. They're pros though. I've been sitting here for like 6 hours trying to get this done. I mean, I'm getting closer though. So I gotta glue my pocket down now. Handy dandy Aleene's. And then I'm gonna sit here and wonder where I want to glue it down to. It's never ending. And then, oh, I had you laying on your side and you're still gonna be a jerk and not give me the glue that I deserve as a human being. There we go. I'm gonna put this over here. I've decided, and I'm telling you what, it's probably gonna be a little heavy for this paper. How is this? See, I can glue these. I can go back and glue that piece. Now that I've dinked with this so much, I like it. Sometimes you just got to do some extra dinking with things, and that's why I said hold on. You know, I didn't like the purple, and you know, I used a metallic paint and you can still see it a little bit. I don't know if I feel like that fairly counts for use of metallic, so I probably will go back and use some more metallic. So I'm hitting this with some heat again because this matte gel, it's mostly dry. There's a few spots that are still damp. This one, hit it again. Hit it, Gertrude. Yeah, I just keep coming up with all these crazy names, don't I? Alright, so I think I want a flower on there or some kind of little embellishment. Obviously, I didn't plan this out all the way because I'm still sitting here going, oh, now I want this and that. I don't know if I'm going to have anything up here that's going to go with this or if I'm going to have to go looking somewhere else. Oh, those are those mini playing cards. Ooh, what's this? This might actually work. Look at this. Jackpot. This is one of these cool fabric flowers that somebody made a bunch of and then offered to send out to people. And it's not quite the same shade of pink as her dress. But now I wonder if I put it down here. Yeah, see, I don't know if I'm even with a big gusset, I don't think that's gonna fit. So I really need, well, do I really need anything? Oh my gosh. Now see, now I'm not so sure. I think it's too, okay, never mind. I feel like that I need one more little thing down there on that tag. I feel like I do. Bear with me. We're getting closer. Just hang in there, I promise. I mean, it could still be another 2 to 3 hours. What's the, oh yeah, that's my paint booger. Now I know I've got something somewhere that I can stick on that tag. I could put a word down there, and I think that'd be okay, even though I'm writing a quote. What's on the tag? The little girl. So, what are things? Let me see. Vicinity before expression. My quote is dealing with wonder. Beauties. Oh, simplest beauties. That would be good. I think that would be good. Simplest beauty. Because, you know, children. Okay, I've got 2 quote options here. Wander often, wonder always, or never lose your sense of wonder. And I think I want to go with the never lose your sense of wonder. So, of course I love these stupid things. I love them, and I say stupid because I love all of this stuff, but it's usually expensive. I just don't know. See, I'm not sure if since I'm putting a quote on the page that I should add a word to the tag. Why is this so stinking difficult? So what I really need is just some kind of a little image. What about some flowers from a napkin that I can throw on there that might look good? Like this. This look good? Okay, I got a couple options here. And I'm like just saying flowers. Like just cutting out, you know, some flour and putting it down at the bottom. So it's coming from a napkin, so it's going to be pretty see-through. And I feel like this flower is better than that flower. This napkin is thick. Oh, this is one of those times where it helps to have some glue on your hands, because man, I was just able to pull that right apart. That was like a 6-ply napkin right there. So I've got this. Oh, I like that one too. Now I could be dumb and go with the purple again, you know, to try to pull in this purple, but previous experience tells me that that would probably not be something I would want to do. See, I'm thinking something like that. Okay, watch me work my magic. I'm just throwing crap everywhere. Everywhere. It is super bad, because I'm going to use the rest of that napkin at some point in my life. Okay. I gotta get faster. I gotta get faster. I didn't set it myself a time limit this time. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down here and work on this page and have myself a good old time. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna continue doing that. So basically what I want to do is go up under that piece. So I need me some Mod Podge. Okay, and I want to go up under here, and I want to Mod Podge that whole bottom part. Okay, because then I'm going to take this. Can you even see what I'm doing? Watch. I'm sitting here talking you through it, and I'm probably not even in frame. I'm going to take this, and I'm just gonna perfectly not smooth it down right under here, and I'm probably gonna tear this dumb thing. Nope, we're not. That's not happening. We're not gonna do it. We're not tearing it. Perfect. See, I just wanted a little something something, because I felt like there was that whole blank space down there, and I wanted to fill it up with something. So that's what we're doing there. Okay. And I don't care if that stuff sticks to it now or not. So I'm gonna let this dry for a bit before I try to go in there, and I've seen people tear off the bits of napkin when it's still wet. I'm guessing I'm just not that talented. Yeah, see, it's just gonna start tearing. So I need to wait like a big girl. I need to just be patient and wait before I screw anything all up. So yeah, I feel good about that. I will probably put some kind of a I know. Use this to tie through the tag hole. Try to hit that with some heat, and I'll throw that napkin back over there too. I'm kind of glad the cat isn't in here right now, or she'd be like over there playing with all my napkins. So yeah, basically all I'm doing is just trimming the bottom here, getting that extra napkin off. Okay, I got crap everywhere, people. Crap everywhere. It is a scary state here. I really just want it would help if I actually cut the twine. I just want I'm going to do it the fancy way. This is the I'm a pretend artist way. That I'm pretending like I know what I'm doing kind of way. Where I just pull through and tuck. I do like how that looks. Now, stick it in my here pocket. That's where that's going to go. Right like that. Oh, she is so cute. She's adorable. Okay. I don't know. Is that dry enough? Yeah, that's dry enough. So I'm put her in here. And I'm going to leave her stuck up a little bit. I feel like that needs a little more. I'm going to go ahead and break out my walnut stain because I feel like this could be dark. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I felt like that needed to be just a little bit darker. And now that that's on there, I'll ink around that again. There we go. Yeah, let's just go ahead. Yeah, I'm just gonna screw that all up, and that's okay. That's all right. I just added me some age there to that tag. There we go. Now that's in there. Okay. What have I got here? I've got circles. I've got metallic paint or marker, although I think I'm going to need some more. Add a tag. Add fabric, which I've got. Write something with non-dominant hand. Okay, first I'm going to get this here. I'm not sure how either one of these will look. I'm kind of wondering if I want to like go around the page with it. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think the gold would look very good. So we're doing rose gold. That's what we're doing here. And I'm going to do a real sketchy kind of like border. And go back and smudge it a little bit. And maybe not everywhere, but smudge it in places. Okay. So since my metallic paint kind of failed on me and I deleted most of it. Oh, that was a little sketchier than I intended. Since woo! You know, most things I can handle, like the taste of the Stabilo pencil and the oil pastels and stuff like that. Either it's the glue on my hand or it's this pit pen that I don't like the taste of. I know, guys, I'm not supposed to eat it, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Oops. Oh yeah, that looks really cool on the fabric there. All right. Grunged that up with my Faber-Castell Pit Artist Pen in copper. I called it rose gold. Copper. Okay. The label looks like rose gold. Excusez-moi. Excuse-moi. So do we have some coming up over here? We do. I'm going to hit, it's not like it's going to come off. But if I can, I'm going to go ahead and hit I feel like sometimes when I get done crafting, literally that I need to take a shower. Like I am covered in so much stuff that I feel like I need to bathe. I'm literally covered. Okay. So, I have left myself with a lot of empty space. Actually, I think I want to put her over here to kind of I'm going to go ahead and add those. I know I've already got circles. Where'd my glue stick go? I can't find anything.
I think I've got some fabric in my mouth. So, I mean, I'm liking elements of this page. I'm not sure that I did a great job. Oh, what the? Really? It's literally not sticking at all. Hello? Aren't you supposed to be glue? Why is it that everybody else uses glue stick and it stays? And I use glue stick and it's like, bah! So funny. I think I got some fabric in my mouth. I do have a glass of water. I thought for sure that I would need it by now. I need a drink. Gotta get a drink out of my Fuzzies taco cup to get the fuzzies out of my mouth. Go figure. So yeah. Anyway. So I took, you know, so much effort into getting the colors just right and the look and the feel just right, that I feel like as far as balance of the page goes, like placement is, I totally missed the boat. But these are things that I will learn. Like, I feel like I'm gonna put my quote on the left side of the spread over here. But I still feel like I've got, you know, the tag and the pocket with all the stuff over here, and that I'm just not, that I needed something else over here. So I think that I'm just not going to worry about it, but I do feel like that maybe, I say I'm not going to worry about it, and then I'm sitting here cutting this up going, I mean, I don't know if another piece of fabric is really the answer, because I've got quite a bit of fabric down here already. Oh, the dog is up there having a cow about something. What? Like, I guess what I could do, ooh, that would be cute. I think I will do that, though. I'll staple this little piece of fabric over here on the right side to kind of carry over that, the fabric thing I got going on here. If I can line things up how I want them. There we go. I do kind of like that, though. Okay. So now for my quote. This is I don't like my handwriting to begin with, even if it is my dominant hand. So this is going to be difficult for me. I think originally I wanted a quote that had something to do with like innocence, childhood innocence. And then I thought that maybe, you know, with her like bending over like that, I'm just going to do never lose your sense of wonder. Because I think that goes well with little kids and kittens and why not? So my handwriting is not one of my strong points. Even if I was writing with my good hand. So I'm not going to like this anyway. I can tell you right now. So I'm supposed to write with my non-dominant hand. And I watched Kyra Pace do this. And she wrote so well with her non-dominant hand. I was very jealous. Never lose your sense of wonder. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna forget how to spell. I'm thinking maybe I just want to do it messy. That's an M. That's not even an N. The heck. Where's my eraser? Okay, it would help, first of all, if I even wrote the correct letter. Now, it's supposed to be a messy N. Clearly, it looks like an M. Oh. Yeah, I said a couple more hours. Oh, that was my wrong hand. Okay, sorry. Never. Lose your. It's funny how I do my my O's like backwards this way. Like I go this way instead of I go counterclockwise. N D E R. Yep, looks like a first grader wrote it. So question is, when I go back over it and trace it, can I do that in my right hand now? That would be cheating, but I'm pretty sure that would be cheating. Oh, what thickness am I going for here? That's probably good. Now I'm just hoping that when I erase all this, oh, dang it. So, I mean, I wrote it in my left hand. Do I have to trace it in my left hand too? I probably could trace it with my right hand. That's okay. We're gonna make ourselves do this. If I turn the book the other way, I bet I'd have an easier time. Your I'm not doing a very good job of this. I'm not even staying on the lines at all. Oh, this is excruciating. Yeah. So, question is, how long does this have to dry before I can erase? It's going to be interesting to try to erase this and see how much paint comes off and crap smears everywhere, because I don't have a nice white eraser. Oh, I guess it's actually coming out pretty well. Gotta get rid of my lines here. I was worried that it was gonna take off a bunch of paint or something. You never know sometimes. Oh boy, it sounds like the house is falling down, so that means the dogs are getting their treats. They run around like jackalopes when it's treat time. well, mainly just the little tiny dog. She's like a meth head. Okay, so there's that. Of course, I think I'm gonna have to re-glue all these because, you know, they're not sticking. I want to do circles around the circles. Trying to be super precise, as you can tell. There we go. Trying to learn to draw with my shoulder and not my wrist. I mean, obviously that's not helping anything. Trying to doodle here a little bit. Okay. Other than feeling like that I have some wasted space over here, I'm pretty happy with it overall. Metallic paint or marker, check. Add a tag, check. Circles everywhere, check. Add fabric, check. And write something with a non-dominant hand. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, take 5 art journal entry page for, okay, for April 2019. Why can't, I don't understand why it's so hard for me to line this up with the camera. Flat and up and over. There we go. There's the tag in my little pocket. And yeah, thanks for watching and enduring the excruciating 2.5-hour torture session of watching me make a journal page that I came on and said I was prepared for. I had a great time making it though, and it was fun, and like with everything, it's fun to see how you start out and you know, think you have this idea and you start something and then you hate it. But part of that is just not giving up and keep layering and keep, you know, changing things, adding things, whatever it takes to get it to the place where you are happy with it. And I think after 6 colors of paint and 2 different scraps of paper on this pocket, I finally got to a place where I was okay with it. So it does prove that you can turn, you know, things that you think are not going to turn out well, you can usually mend them and make them good. So anyway, thanks for hanging out for my Take 5 art journal entry for April. And if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will have more fun torture coming for you to come hang out and experience right along with me. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Happy hump day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.